Hello, I'm Lindsay Greeking. Probably a lot of you don't know who I am or why I'm here or what I do or anything about me, and that's totally fine. I'm here to bring a message of hope. You guys have gotten a lot of really good information tonight. You've been educated in a really tremendous way. There's been some really brilliant people who have given you some tools and resources for you to be able to take and pass on to people that you know and love. I really want to commend Debbie for her bravery and her courage to stand up here in front of you and share her son's story, because there are so many parents that I know that lose their child to an overdose, that write in the eulogy that they passed away in their sleep, and they won't recognize that it was an overdose. And there's so many people that are wondering, well, what happened? And the parents don't want to talk about it because of that stigma, that shame, that guilt. And that is something, that is probably the number one reason why there is so few people that are willing to stand up and help people who are struggling with addiction today. And I'm one of the people who decided that I was going to stand up, because I am a person in long-term recovery, and I know that it's possible to recover, because 5.5 years ago, I was smoking heroin off of tinfoil in a trap house on Casino Road. And I'm here before you today as a representative of people who struggle with addiction and people who are affected by addiction, including loved ones and family members. So Debbie, I really want to commend you again, because it's not easy to do that. There is still so much hope in the story that you share, because you're able to show other parents that if something like that happens, they can still be an advocate for change. And that is so important. There is still so much hope. In 2013, I started a nonprofit called Hope Soldiers. And a lot of you are probably looking at me and you're like, okay, this girl's really young, she doesn't look very professional. And you're right, I'm not very professional at all. Actually, this coat that I'm wearing right now is like 6 sizes too big for me, and I'm wearing a t-shirt and leggings, and all these people are wearing suits. Like, I really don't fit in here. I don't. I'm not like the typical face of like a founder of a nonprofit. But the reason why I started it is because I noticed how many people were dying from this disease, and then how many people weren't doing anything about it. How many people I talked to that didn't know how to get on state insurance and then how to get into treatment. 0 steps. They knew 0 instructions. They had 0 guidance. And this was just in 2013. In 2014 and 2015, I saw an astronomical amount of people die from this disease. The numbers from 2015 haven't even come out yet. In 2015, the numbers from 2014 of overdose deaths came out in June. We're in October. That's scary. I don't even want to see the numbers from 2015, because I lost somebody in 2015. My best friend in the entire world died from this disease. That's a scary thought, and I know that a lot of you have that fear, but I'm here to tell you today, you do not have to be afraid. And there are things that you can do to combat this disease. Now, oops, I didn't know that was a movable thing. Okay. What the hope part of Hope Soldiers stands for is handing out purpose everywhere. And what that means is, basically right now, we are in like the worst moral humanity crisis ever. And it's not just substance abuse, it's not just mental health disorders. Like, if you really think about it, the way that our world is right now compared to where it used to be, it's declining. The morale is declining. People are unhappy. People are scared. People are dying. People are depressed. There's a problem. There is a huge gap in society, and it's really difficult to figure out where exactly that is. What I can tell you, though, is that one of the reasons why there is a gap is because it seems like most of the people that I've talked to and that my team members have talked to don't know why they're here. why they exist, why they're on this earth. I know that for me, I had no idea who I was or why I'm here on this earth. I had no idea that I was worth anything. And there are so many people that are struggling with that right now, and that is why people go into self-harm and self-medicating, because of this identity crisis. It is really important, and as cliche as it sounds, we have to love harder. Harder. We have to love harder. I know I'm not the only person in here who's getting off the freeway ramp and there's a guy standing on the side of the road with a sign and he's coming towards your car to ask for money, and you lock your door and you turn your head because you don't want him to see you and you don't want to make eye contact. I know I'm not the only person in here who has done that, but I don't do that anymore because I'm not afraid. Because it's more important for me to spread love than it is for me to protect myself from somebody asking me for money. I know that person's not going to hurt me. So I roll down my window and I don't give them money, but what I do say is, here's my card. If you're interested in housing or treatment, I can help you, and I want you to know that you are loved, wanted, and needed. That is so important, and so many people are missing that. And Cleo gave amazing points of what you can do. Be educated, learn how to use naloxone, spread awareness, unite as a community. What is the best way that we can unite as a community? Love. Really. I know it sounds corny, but seriously, like, think about it. How many people do you know that really feel loved? That are happy and feel like they're truly loved and cherished as a human being? Probably not a lot. I don't know a lot of people in my life that don't even struggle with anything that feel happy and loved and cherished. It is so important for us as a human race to see that people are hurting and to love them. Because what that does is it sparks somebody's desire to change. It sparks somebody's desire to be more, because you can help somebody realize that they're worth something. Somebody did that for me. Somebody helped me realize my worth, and the second that I knew what my worth was, my heart started breaking for people around me. I literally, my heart bleeds for people who are in pain. Everywhere I go, I see pain. But I also see hope now, because I did the footwork to start helping people, and I saw people change. I saw people feel love, and it was so powerful. They changed. I've helped over 100 people get into treatment in the last year and a half, single-handedly. And I'm not saying that to brag or be arrogant. I'm saying that because it really only takes one person to make a difference. If every single person in this room met up with me and learned the process for helping people get into treatment, you guys could say the same thing. I am just an ordinary person. I happen to survive substance abuse and mental health disorders, and now I'm doing something to help other people who are struggling with the same thing. Hold on, I have more notes. I was saying before about how I'm like not very professional. I'm really not. I'm super disorganized. I forget things all the time. I get things mixed up. I'm human. I make mistakes. The only thing that I've been able to do right is stay clean from drugs and alcohol and love people. It's the only thing I've ever been able to do that's good. But to me, it's everything. That's my entire life. And let me tell you, it's not easy to do that because I work full-time at Amazon and I have a son. So it's not easy to do this, but I do it. I make time for it. I will do it while I'm working. And I've been doing this so actively without any kind of fear of judgment or what people think about me. Okay, I think I have struggled with what people think about me, but I do it anyways. It's hard. I want people to like me. I think everybody wants to be liked, but I do it anyways. And people have noticed. I got a phone call from MTV. I got to participate in a documentary recently. It just aired the other night. It's called Prescription for Change, Ending America's Opioid Crisis. And it was an amazing experience because it got to portray exactly what I do and what I want to teach people to do. It showed a story of me helping a girl that was struggling with addiction, and I showed her that she has a purpose before she even got clean. I was taking her with me to help feed homeless people and just reach out, grassroots movement type stuff, before she even got clean. She got the desire in her heart to get clean after feeling that sense of purpose. I didn't have to coax her, I didn't have to pressure her. She just felt the love. She felt how powerful it was for her to give love to other people, and it made her want to change. And she has 128 days clean today, and that is not the only person that I have a success story of, that I've been able to help get clean and get the treatment that they need. And I don't take all the credit for that. I have a really strong belief in God, and I believe that God has used me in big ways to help people because I've been willing. If we had more people that were willing to be used as vessels to help love and educate and heal broken people, this world would be a lot different. Snohomish County has a huge opportunity right now because there's a lot of conversations about what's going on. I'm here to help spark a call to action. It is really up to us as individuals to help the people around us. It is our moral responsibility to help people who are struggling and suffering. No more, oh, it's none of my business. No more, oh, I don't want to get involved. I will tell you what, I never mind my own business, ever. And it gets me in a lot of trouble, but it also gets me invited to the White House to do panels with Michael Botticelli, who's the drug czar of the United States of America. Be bold and courageous. We don't have any other option because people really are dying. And like I said, the numbers from 2015 for overdose rates, it's going to be sick. It's really going to be terrible. So we have to do something. We have to change the numbers for 2016. There's still time. We have to change the numbers for 2017. There's still time. There's still hope. One of the other things that I want to mention about what you can do besides what Cleo mentioned, which is all absolutely on point, is vote. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office is facing budget cuts. That is completely not conducive to what we need to do. They're doing a lot of good work. One of my personal friends, Pat Slack, who's the commander of the Snohomish Regional Gang Task Force, and I have literally gone and pulled people out of trap houses and got them clean. I have one girl right now who's in California on a scholarship. I fought for a scholarship for her, and she has over 4 months clean, and I helped get her charges dropped for all of the charges that she had against her pending here in Washington State. I'm not that smart. All I did was make phone calls and talk to people and ask. If more people did that, we could make such a big difference. The CARA bill went to Congress after Obama sent it there, and it didn't go anywhere. That would have given us billions of dollars towards treatment. We don't get it now. The marijuana bill, we were supposed to get the majority of that towards substance abuse treatment. There's only 5% that's been documented that has gone towards substance abuse treatment. And I got these numbers from a legislator, so I'm not just talking out my butt. I mean, this is real. If you're over 18 and you have the ability to vote, but you're a little bit scared about your taxes getting raised, think about the people that it's going to benefit and the lives that it's going to save. We cannot lose the budget that the sheriff's office has right now, because it's barely enough to cover what they're already doing, which is a lot, but we need more. We were not prepared for this epidemic at all. Purdue Pharma made, I guess, OxyContin, and it flooded our country. And then as soon as they changed the way that it was made and people turned to heroin, or people grew tolerant to OxyContin and they turned to heroin, everybody started dying. Purdue Pharma. And they're still running and they're still making money. The government can't do a lot because it takes voters to vote things in, and it just takes a lot of work. But what we can do is grassroots stuff, like what I do, and just get out and love people. Learn as much as you can about what can be done about this, and love harder. You never know which of your family members is struggling with this disease. The stigma is the thing that is keeping us from getting the help that we need, the money that we need towards treatment. It really is. Because people still think addiction is a choice, and it's not. I know I didn't choose to be a heroin addict. Protester. I'm just kidding. I didn't choose to be an addict. I don't know anybody who did. I know that first initial pickup seems like a choice, but for me, I'll tell you what, honestly, I kind of felt drawn to it for years. I felt like, honestly, I was being led there my whole life. And no matter what substance I put in my body, I was going to be addicted to it. That's just the way I am. I can't drink, I can't smoke pot, I can't do anything recreationally, because the second I feel any type of altering in my mind, I need more, 100 times more. And I'm not the only one that's like that. But I didn't choose to be this way. But I am choosing to abstain from it, because I know that the longer I abstain, the more powerful I become, and the more I can help other people, and the more I can teach other people to help other people. So I hope you leave tonight not just being educated and more aware of the situation that's going on, but I hope you leave tonight and you want to go out and hug the next homeless person that you see, or even your family member, because they need it really bad. And if you're interested in volunteering with my team, you can come and talk to me afterwards. If you need help getting your kids into treatment, you can come talk to me afterwards. I will literally do anything to fight the stigmas and anything in the way of people getting the help that they need. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for letting me share with you today, and thank you everybody for all of the information and for being part of the solution.
Wow. Thank you, Debbie and Lindsay, especially, and obviously the panel, but those personal stories are really what drive this home, and I think there are people here that probably have that. So, I'm a little blown away by all of this. But we will now begin the Q&A portion of the forum. We have a microphone in the audience. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get the microphone over to you. We want to get as many questions as we can, so we ask that if you can to keep the questions as concise as possible. If you can, maybe some specific question to one of the panel members up here. And or two. And there will be time to gather some information outside and a few minutes to talk after. I think as Lindsay pointed out, if you have some specific questions for her. But with that, we will open up for any questions. Heather, we have one right there.
To you. Hi, my name's Thea. I'm a social worker with Public Health in Seattle. And I primarily work with injection drug users seeking treatment. I have I live in Snohomish County, and this is the county that I love. And I have a lot of people from Snohomish that are coming in trying to get my help getting them into treatment in King, because there aren't as many options in Snohomish. And so I'm wondering what is being done to create more buprenorphine providers, more methadone clinics, and that kind of thing here.
So thank you for your question. The Health District and the Snohomish County Human Services have been working with several doctors in the area to try and increase the Suboxone capacity, as well as there's been a couple of pilot programs at a couple of the treatment agencies for Suboxone. So, and those are increasing in capacity as well, especially since the raise of the cap from 100 claims per doctor to 275. So that is going on as we speak. Methadone clinic, about a year and a half ago, Snohomish County was granted the state's permission to open another methadone clinic. Unfortunately, they have been working diligently to try and cite that clinic, and unfortunately, every site that they have found and have worked towards has then said, no, not in my backyard. So that fight's continuing. I mean, they're still trying to find a site for that fourth clinic. So did that answer some of your question? We're working also, so you know about the BHO. Okay, so the BHO is over 5 counties, including Snohomish County, Skagit County, Waccamaw County, Highland County, and San Juans. And we're working with them as well to increase, because they did a needs assessment combined with each of the county offices, and of course found out that there's very much a lack of inpatient type treatment services, recovery house type stuff, and so there are things in the works. Unfortunately, it's slower than what we need, but we're trying.
I've been working also with the medical community and the medical directors of many of the large medical provider systems here in Snohomish County, including the federally qualified health centers, CMAR and Community Health Center of Snohomish County, as well as the Everett Clinic and Providence Medical Group and others. And the medical directors get it, that they have a real responsibility to expand treatment within their system, so they are trying to get more primary care providers in all of those systems to become certified to offer Suboxone in particular. But it takes time, and providers are still wary of trying to become skilled in this area because they do recognize that it's a complex area. So, as Cleo said, we're working on it.
You have a question back here.